And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the graveyard here on Friday night basketball. Nunawading Spectres men taking on the Eltham Wildcats men. Again, alongside me, Tyson Whelan from Eltham. Apologies for the delay in the sound coming up. Copyright rules prohibit us from showing or turning the volume up until after the anthem. So, for those of you watching at home, there was a small presentation. Shane McDonald played his 350th match last weekend down in Tasmania, so a little gift of recognition for him. Big game this tonight. Nunawading coming in 3-1, Eltham 1-1, but have brought import Grandy Glaze in. What can we expect from him, Toss?
Well, Grandy Glaze, as you mentioned, has only just entered the squad. Last week he turned up on like Thursday, I think. He hit the court on Saturday night against the Falcons and he put down 17 points. He came alive in the third quarter and along with his 17 points, pulled down 6 rebounds. He shot 67% from the field. He's a man that comes over from Canada. He's played college in the United States. He's played all across the world, in Chile most recently, and now joins the Eltham Wildcats outfit. He's a character. He brings plenty of personality to the team. And of course, as they did last week, Eltham will be expecting a haul of points from him again.
And we are looking for the above-the-rim action of Josh Sykes, averaging 16.5 and 10 this season. So Nunawading will have to lock down on him if they're to get up tonight. Well,
along with his 16.5 points, also pulls in 10 rebounds. He's been a prolific dunker from Big V last year when he first joined the Wildcats, and he continues because of what he offers for this team, which is, as you mentioned, above the ring. And he put down 5 dunks in that first match against Diamond Valley. Last week he had a couple of big ones too, as well as a massive rejection in the third quarter. And he enters tonight's match with a good streak of form, and he'll be looking to continue that against Nunawading tonight.
And for those of you who haven't been on social media today, probably the big news of the league is Nunawading signing of Lucas Walker for the rest of the season. How do you see that addition playing into Nunawading's hands?
I had a look up at Lucas Walker's history, and he's played at more clubs than Tiger Woods has in his golf kit. He's got Dandenong Rangers under his belt, Melbourne Tigers, Ballarat Miners, Dandenong Rangers, Adelaide 36ers, Perth Wildcats. He's played in so many associations at the professional level, and now he joins the Nunawading Spectres tonight, and he will be a very handy inclusion. I'd love to know how that came about. I mean, he joins us in the third round now. And how do you see him performing tonight?
So Nunawading unfortunately had to release import Ray Mitchell from his contract, and I believe connections through the 3-on-3 space. Lucas playing at the or trying out for the Australian squad. Obviously, Coach Biwa heading up the 3-on-3 program must have gotten in his ear and told him what a great club this is down here. And paperwork went through this afternoon, so he landed at 4 p.m. this afternoon from Cairns. Straight from here, straight from the airport to here, suited up, and he won't be starting, but I'm sure it won't be too long before we see him out on court. Another big one for Nunawading. Coach B was actually up at the National Championships up in Townsville, so it's Coach Duncan Berg tonight, the assistant coach stepping up to the head coaching role. But another big in for Nunawading. Andrew Steele had a bit of a groin issue the first couple of weeks, did it the week before the season started, but returns to the court and looks like he'll come off the bench as well.
There's been a nice crowd that has poured in here to the graveyard tonight for what should be a really exciting matchup. You have two teams that particularly in the previous season, have shown themselves to be really strong. Last season, of course, the Wildcats finished runners-up in Big V. Nunawading finished runners-up in Siebel, and they enter tonight with decent records. Eltham just went down to Waverley last weekend, and of course had that overtime win in the first round. When you look at the Spectres, of course, they have that pretty tough loss to Ballarat, 87-94 in the first round. But ever since then, have looked the goods. They've won by around 20 points in all of the 3 continuing matches: Geelong, Northwest Tassie, and of course Hobart as well. They're sitting 4th on the ladder. And under the guidance of Coach Burke tonight, they will be a strong side for the Wildcats to take on.
And starting for Nunawading, Shane McDonald, Tom Wright, Kostas Chronopoulos, Dane Swatala and Simon Conn. And for Eltham, we've got Josh Sykes.
Simon Bradbury joins him, Justin Ava, Ben Waldron and Adam Doyle. Adam Doyle, of course, backup point guard at the Adelaide 36ers, joins the Eltham Wildcats for the first time this year. He was born in Sydney. He finds a home now in the northeast of Melbourne at Eltham. And last week he was very strong and now averages around 16 points per game. Of course, he also puts up around eight assists per game. He's leading the assist count for the Wildcats, and expect a solid performance from him tonight.
How crucial is it for Eltham to have a point guard of the skill of Adam Doyle, just lobbing those alley-oops up there to Sykes?
Well, that's right. You need to be able to capitalise when you have the likes of Josh Sykes in your team, and what that requires is someone with good vision. And when you talk about Adam Doyle, that's what he has in abundancy. And last week he was dishing them up to Josh Sykes, left, right and centre, as the referee steps into the circle, and as Josh Sykes...
And Hronopoulos straight off the tip gets the intercept. Sykes pointed pre-tip, and Hronopoulos reads it. Nunawading to start proceedings.
So Adam Doyle steps up to the plate in terms of defence. McDonald sends inwards.
Swatala back Sykes down with the little floater, can't get it to go. Waldron with the first rebound.
Dane Swatala averaging 21 points so far this season. He's been strong. He's played with the Spectres since 2017. And now he steps up to the plate with NBL1 tonight against Eltham Wildcats. Adam Doyle looking to get the first score for the Wildcats. Can't get it to go. And the rebound was for Swatala.
Ben Waldron came across to Eltham from Hawthorn's Youth League men. How's he? He's had a couple of years now at Big V level. How's he stepped up to the senior level?
He's still coming into form in this NBL1 format as he fouls underneath and heading to the line. It will be Hronopoulos. But yes, Ben Waldron, of course, has really led the side in the last 2 years in Big V. Expect him to continue into the NBL1 season. He has an unorthodox style of play, but he has scoring aplenty, of course, is his trait. And he'll look to provide a whole lot of points tonight for the Wildcats.
He averaged 16.9 and 4.5 boards last year in Big V.
Just averaging the 9 points so far this season, but expect him to work his way into the season.
I think you can expect that with the calibre of import being, I know Grandy Glazer's only played the one game, but it just spreads the floor a little bit, and Adam Doyle.
That's certainly right, and now it's in the hands of Adam Doyle in response to the first score by the Spectres. Josh Sykes just steps out to the perimeter.
I'm looking forward to the matchup of Swatala and Sykes. Two fairly athletic,
fading away from the basket.
Fairly athletic players. McDonald with the drop off to right. Back to McDonald in the corner. Steps out of bounds.
Tom Wright, of course, averaging around 17.3 points per game so far. There's a good spread of scorers in this starting five, of course. You can't forget Simon Conn. He's 36 years of age. But he, of course, is still very athletic. He was the 2017 Siebel MVP, and now he continues with the Nunawading Spectres into the NBL1 season. Josh Sykes looking to Simon Bradbury, but it's a hand on it from Swatala, so it's back to Nunawading.
Going back inside to Swatala again. Squares up to Sykes. Good hand in there by Doyle. Steps through, kicks it out. Tom Wright puts up the three.
I thought it was good defence by the Wildcats on that play. Josh Sykes with those massive arms. Throw them up in the air, and it's very daunting.
What's the wingspan on Sykes?
It's a lot. It is uncomfortable how long his arms are, but he'll use them to full effect, no doubt, with a couple of dunks tonight, you'd imagine, as he presents at the top and gathers the ball off Doyle. Gives it back. Now Bradbury back to Adam Doyle. Elects not to shoot. Heading inside on the right hand, Josh Sykes. He put down a mid-range jumper last night. The pass to Waldron. Got a hand on it, was right, but it's back to Waldron now. Simon Bradbury with the on-ball screen with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Ben Waldron with the opening score for the Wildcats. We mentioned how he's just finding some form in these first two matches, and now in the third match of the season, he opens the scoring for the Wildcats, and they'll build some confidence.
Donald hits Con on the pick and pop, and Con rewards him. How many times are we going to see that tonight?
As a Wildcats supporter myself, I say too many, but as I said, he's averaging 17 points per game. And he continues the scoring for the Spectres. Adam Doyle now to Bradbury. It was a good spot to waver. He had some space. Now Josh Sykes. Does he elect to go for the three? It'll be his first three for the season. Can't get it to go.
Early days in the game, but Swatala looks to be sagging way off on that one, giving up the shot to Sykes. I don't think they think he's much of a threat from out there.
It's probably a good option. Adam Doyle, as he tends to do, providing some pressure for the Wildcats down in the front court. Yes, Josh Sykes, as I mentioned, that was his first three so far in the season.
First three attempted for the season.
60, yeah, that's right, 61% from the field otherwise there, and that, of course, comes in the form of a range of inside the paint shots and mostly dunks as well. Con now matches up against Bradbury. Two big bodies, turns to the basket, gathers his own rebound, puts it back up.
Simon Con.
205 centimetres, Simon Conn.
We saw against Ballarat a couple of weeks ago that the length of Dengakuth at 210 caused a few issues for Con. I wonder if Bradbury at 215 will cause the same problems.
Justin Ava spots Simon Bradbury on the edge of the paint. Once again gathers his rebound, and Simon Bradbury.
Swatala takes it off the top of the rim.
It was a lucky hand by Ava, knocks it out of court. A deflection, and they'll have 15 seconds to work with.
And in contrast to the women's team, most of the players for the roster were back this season. They've been together for a little while now.
That's right, particularly with the Wildcats. They just have a couple of youth league players that have stepped back down into the youth league. The point guard, Illy Bonholm, goes back to the United States. But most of the team has been certainly no wholesale changes other than Grandy Glaze and Adam Doyle, who stepped into the team this year.
Good help there by Con there on Doyle, makes him kick it out to Ava.
I should mention Dave Shafford as well, who comes from the Kilsyth Cobras, is a shooting option, and he'll be coming off the bench tonight. Bradbury long on that one. Chronopoulos needs a rebound.
Kicks it ahead right to McDonald with his left-hand floater, and that's good.
So the Spectres with some early scoring lead, 7-3. 6 minutes to go in this first quarter. So it's Waldron with the only score for the Wildcats so far in the form of a 3-ball. And what does the Wildcats decide to do? Waldron presents again from the perimeter. Can he make it 2 from 2?
Wright gets a hand on that.
There's a good defensive effort by Wright.
McDonald with the on-ball screen from Swatala, gives it to the corner, swings it around Swatala for 3. That looks good, and it is good. Great ball rotation by the Spectres.
Coach Trevor Lee says, I'll take a timeout, please, with all the momentum in favour of the Spectres early on in this first quarter.
Don't think it'll be too long before we see Grandy Glaze injected into the game.
He's the kind of player that can have pretty immediate impact. Last week, I didn't quite expect it, but he knocked down a big 3-ball in the third quarter when the momentum was just starting to swing. Of course, he's got a good inside game as well, and is equally very strong at the defensive end. And of course, Coach Trevor Lee will definitely be turning to him for some help tonight off the bench.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you very much to the SDS crew.
Has there been many changes at the Nunawading end over the season?
No, we had Matt O'Hay retire, 394 games. Thought he might have gone around one more year to click that 400, but young family, work and things like that. But other than that, Nunawading's men have been a pretty stable roster for a number of years now. A couple of youth league elevations that come in and out each week. Van Ryan, who's now a senior player, Daniel Baxter and Jack Saunders and Jack Gandolfo swinging between the two. But Saunders has been given an opportunity this season, a few more minutes on the back of Matty O'Hay retiring. We needed someone who can knock down that 3 a bit more regularly, and Saunders is taking the opportunity.
He's throwing up 7 points a game, including 42% from at the perimeter. So yes, definitely offers an option from outside for the Spectres. As Ben Waldron looks to inbound to Doyle.
A little bit of pressure up the floor by Wright.
And now they have 19 seconds to work with. Josh Sykes gives it to Justin Ava. Now Adam Doyle. Defense is Swatala. Gives off to Simon Bradbury. Looks inside to Josh Sykes. Connor playing the defense. His fouled is Josh Sykes. He'll to the line for 2 free throws. And this will be handy for the Wildcats just to develop a bit of momentum after being the losers in that first 4 minutes. It was the Spectres who really looked strong and had 10 points. And it was Simon Conn who had 4, Swatala with 3, McDonald with 2. And just the one score for the Wildcats through the hands of Ben Waldron. Josh Sykes, probably not the strongest free throw shooter, doesn't make the first.
A good Eltham contingent down here watching the game, sitting behind their bench.
With the Nunawading Spectres and the Eltham Wildcats, known for their support around Melbourne, and that is on full display tonight. And teams know that this will be a good match, as was the women's match beforehand, where the Spectres got up by 17 points.
McDonald with the left-hand floater again, and that's good over the hand of Sykes.
With a loose pass from Sykes, but Adam Doyle gathered it, no troubles. And he loses touch
Tom
of it.
Wright taking it on. Got to contend with Sykes coming over the top, and does not go. Fowler contends. Good hands there by Chronopoulos.
What a transition ball through the hands of Doyle. They were slightly mismatched for a moment there, but now all 5 players down the Eltham offensive end. 3 ball count for Doyle. There's a foul called and it'll be Eltham ball. Foul on Swatala. His first personal is the man we were just speaking of. Randy Glaze enters the court. He's played for the Canadian national team. He's offered the option of playing in the Canadian National League this year, but elected to go to Australia and join the Eltham NBL1 team. And I think so far he's very happy with that decision, because I know that he's having a blast over in Australia. He's a character, and he enters the court for the Wildcats tonight.
Coming in for Nunawading, Andrew Steele gets his first minutes of the season, and Lucas Walker in the new colours of blue, red and white.
So Josh Sykes now, what can he do? It's another good defensive play by Wright. He gets the steal.
Swatala feeds it back to Wright down in the low block. Goes to work on Doyle, kicks it to Steele in the corner. First shot, short. Glaze with the rebound.
Josh Sykes assisting with the box out. Randy Glaze gathered the rebound. Adam Doyle on that right hand, steps back inside. He's very strong inside the paint if he can get there. He's only a small man, but he's very nimble and he can get to the basket with ease. And he does so there. And he gets 2 points, and that's his first score for the night.
Wright gets into the lane, and good. 2 points there. It's going to be interesting to see how Lucas Walker goes with the offensive sets and defensive breakdowns and team rules and things. Only being here for all 4 hours, 42 minutes now.
Across the league, so many new players just still entering the competition, and of course they've got to transition into the team plays. Justin Ava puts it up and gets it to go for 2 points. Justin Ava finding his first score of the match. And back to a 6-point game as Dave Shafford and Mitch Lee enter the court. One co-captain takes off the other. And Josh Sykes will be heading to the bench in exchange for Dave Shafford. Just the one foul for the Wildcats so far. Ben Waldron is the recipient of that. And it's the Spectres who lead by 6 points.
Go close to Swatala again, going up against Glaze. Kicks it out to Walker, denies the three.
Offensive foul called on Walker.
No basket, we have an offensive foul. Lucas Walker. That is his first personal.
Not the most memorable of starts for a club.
No.
Big dunk or a three from deep or
that would be
charge.
But everyone has to start somehow.
Get that one out of the way.
Offensive foul, that's right. Ben Waldron presents. Ben Waldron heading inside. Can't get it to go off the glass. Falls to the ground. And the rebound was for Walker.
Kicks it to Swatala. Out to Steele in the corner. Tom Wright. Waves off the three ball. Swings it around. There's a mismatch with Walker and Mitchell.
Walker made some room for himself. There's a foul called. The foul was called on number 1, Dave Shafford. It's his first personal foul. Substitutions made. Jack Saunders enters the court in exchange for McDonald. Of course, recognised tonight for playing 350 games.
Been a fantastic stalwart of the club. Came across from Horsham, another country boy. Played a season up at Albury as Tom Wright goes 1, 2, 3. Nunawading out to a 17-8 lead. 2 minutes 45 here left in the first.
Tom Wright averaging 18 points this season. He starts with some more scoring tonight. Dave Shafford turns to the basket.
Tom Wright's always been a solid player, but I think since his foray into, as he throws the long ball out to Swatala, Saunders pulls up for the three in transition, knocks it down. He's really become a lot more aggressive in his offensive play, Tom Wright. And Nunawading, after having Shane McDonald as captain for a number of years.
Randy Glaze is found.
That'll be Swatala's second.
There's a man I'm fairly familiar with, enters the court. And Sam Whelan in exchange for Adam Doyle.
Coming on, Simon Conn for the Spectres.
Simon Connery enters the court for Nunawading. It'll be Swatala, who with his 2 personal fouls will head to the bench. With some forward thinking by the coach. Great. Glaze at the line now. Get the first to go. He's a big body, Greeny Glaze.
He is. They got him listed at 204, but I don't think he's quite up that high. But bringing a lot of enthusiasm so far to the game.
Matches up against Simon.
Substantially shorter than Simon at 205. Con hands it off to Steele. Steele feeds it back. Good
Well,
hand by Waldron there.
strong
And it's off to the races.
movement.
Saunders goes up.
It's a foul
And
call.
the foul
Ben
and
Waldron
one.
off the glass, puts it in for 2 points.
Probably not what you want to do right at the end of the half, at the end of the quarter.
Wildcats will be happy with that. Ben Waldron, as I mentioned, he's just wanting to find a score tonight. A decent haul of points. And now, with 5 points in this first quarter, potentially 6 after this free throw, we'll be happy with his start. Can't get that one to go. Glaze gets the offensive rebound. Shaffett now with some space from 3. Dave Shaffett. Shaffett just shooting 18% from the perimeter so far this season. And now down the other end.
Walker
turns to the basket.
Gets his own boards, goes at the rim, scoops it up and gets the friendly roll. He's already getting the Nunawading rim roll.
The control on that ball. He just gathered it, turned to the basket, and easy as you like, puts it in for 2 points.
Nunawading out to an 11-point lead, but it hasn't felt like Nunawading's been really in control. It's been a bit 50-50 as Glaze goes from 3. Can't get it to work. Steele taps it down to right. As Saunders leaks out looking for the 3. Walker wants it up high, doesn't get it.
Glaze and Whelan applying
Throws
the
it
defense.
inside.
The foul call. They'll be on Ben Waldron.
Good body position there by Walker right at the top of the charge circle.
And now has his second personal foul. Just a minute to play in this first quarter.
McDonald coming back into the game for Wright, having a breather at the quarter break. Coming off the screen, Walker gets it from the good inbound pass and puts another 2 in. Oh, he's quickly making a name for himself. 4 points, 2 boards already.
Quality player is Walker, as you would know, tuning in at home. And now Waldron looking to add to his points. Puts it in for 3. Ben Waldron now with 8 points, including 2 3 balls. Waldron will be happy
Donald
with his
picks
start.
it to Saunders in the corner for 3.
Shaffett.
And it's off the corner of the glass and goes down. Saunders 2 of 2.
Shaffett tried to close out, but probably just didn't get there quick enough.
30 seconds to play here in the first. Nunawading up 26-14. Glaze going up against Walker. Can't get it to go.
Didn't look
Walker
likely
pulls
on
it
that
in.
play.
Nunawading will try and control it. 23 on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock.
So every player
McDonald
seems evenly matched out there at the moment.
wants the pick and pop from Con. Gives it back. No. Corner for Saunders again. Can he go 3 deep? Can't this time. Walker gets up top and goes strong again and gets the basket roll. And that's all she wrote in the first quarter. Great rebound by Lucas Walker off that. Nunawading go in with a 28-14 lead at the break.
Walker with 6 points in that first quarter. He's shooting at 75% from the field. A very solid start by Luke Walker. And as you mentioned, 14 points the difference heading into quarter time.
I found it interesting that Coach Lee kept Sykes off for a while there. He looks like he can go all night. I thought he'd probably play a few more minutes.
Josh Sykes had plenty of foul trouble last week. He was fouled off ultimately. Tonight he's foul-less, but Coach Trevor Lee just can go with a different 5 in that first quarter, and so far it's been the Spectres who have capitalised, now leading by 14 points. If you look at the team statistics, it's the Spectres leading with 13 rebounds to 8, and of course the assist count heavily favours Spectres with all those scores. Now the rebounds, offensive rebounds evenly matched at this point. We look at our scoring leaders. Waldron has hit the boards hard and now has 8 points. Luke Walker, of course, as we mentioned, with 6. Tom Wright has 5. Jack Saunders has 5 as well. Of course, Simon Conn as well with 4 points. So plenty of action here at the Graveyard. Plenty of entertainment for those attending tonight. And the NBL1 so far in round 3 has proven itself to be a very entertaining league as it kind of fills up that winter space where we don't have the NBL action. And tonight, Nunawading and Eltham typify everything that's good about this NBL1 league.
So looking ahead to next week, obviously Easter no break. Who do Eltham have on the return the following weekend?
That's a great question, and I don't actually know. I think it might be one of the Tassie teams, maybe?
No, upcoming at Geelong. I knew
Geelong.
I'd done some research for something.
I'm glad. Geelong.
Eltham playing at Geelong 2 weeks from now.
Next home game, sorry.
Yeah, and Nunawading hosting Frankston on Saturday the 27th of April here at the Graveyard.
Yep, as we mentioned pre-game, it's the Spectres who have a 3-1 record so far, having played 4 games. The Eltham Wildcats won in the first round in overtime against Diamond Valley Eagles. Against Waverley last week was the Falcons that were too strong, and so Eltham entered tonight with a 1-1 record.
Who from the Falcons was dominating?
Well, there was plenty of scorers from memory. Cal, of course, put up a haul of points. Who else was there?
Any Lewis over there?
DeAndre McCord had 27 points.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Grandy Glaze pushing his way inside. As we mentioned, that big body. Yeah, DeAndre McCord had 27 points, 14 rebounds. Yep, he was the focal point.
Okay.
Josh Sykes getting a hand in there, but Spectres maintain possession.
Donald getting into the key, gets blocked by Sykes.
Mitch Lee, the beneficiary, gives it
Out
on
on
to
transition.
Josh Sykes. He spots Granny Glaze heading to the basket.
Great
And these two have been
pass.
combining since they both joined each other in Eltham last week. And the assist there from Josh Sykes as Grandy Glaze finishes off the glass and now matches up against Simon Conn.
Glaze coming out with great intensity this second quarter, harassing Conn, giving up inches, but fighting his battle.
Oh, that's good defence by Glaze, but Simon Conn with the experienced head just puts it in for 2 points.
Eltham did what they needed to do, get the first couple of baskets, but Nunawading able to respond on that play down the track.
So Sam Whelan continues to, in his point guard position into this second quarter. The foul called. Eltham will continue to have possession.
Foul on number 15, John Corky's first personal foul.
And so Coach Trevor Lee just gives Josh Sykes the word for this possession with 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Whelan with the inbound finds Josh Sykes mid-range. Simon Conn has his hand out. Shaffett turning the basket. 2 defenders and he puts it in for 2 points to say Shaffett is a scorer at heart. And he shows that right there with 2 points. And Simon Conn once again with the matchup on Grandy Glaze. And Simon Conn is found by Glaze. Led to the line for 2. It's 10 points the difference.
Is on number 4. Grandy Glaze picking up his
Last week it was the Wildcats trailing for most of the game. It was only in the third quarter where they managed to turn it around. They were trailing by 18 points in the second quarter, and by the end of the third quarter were leading by 6. So if that's anything to go by, expect a solid third quarter from them again tonight. And they certainly know how to come from behind. And at this stage they're behind by 10 points.
Simon makes the first.
Simon makes 1 to 1 to come.
So Swetala with his 2 personal fouls re-enters the court.
It'll be interesting to see how Eltham go now. Swatala with the 2 fouls and John Cook a little bit under strength, I'd say, against Glaze. If I was Eltham, I'd be going to Glaze every time. Let him go to work, draw those couple of fouls.
Josh Sykes inside, levitates and puts it in for 2.
Not much you can do there with the 2 fouls. You just got to
Swetala just watches.
take your medicine and let him go to work. Swatala goes to the rack and draws the foul.
The basket has been wiped away. We do have a foul on.
Fouls on number 2, Josh Sykes. His first personal foul, as I did mention, had foul trouble last week. Just has the one so far, as we're 2 minutes into this second quarter.
What does he normally get in foul trouble for? Is it going for the blocks and collecting the body or the arm, or is he a reacher? Or
Last week he actually had a couple of offensive fouls from memory in that some screens where he just was a little bit loose with the arms, I think, when you have that sort of length. But I imagine that Coach Trevor Lee would be trying to get him disciplined this week, and no doubt he'll be looking to make reparations. And as I mentioned, just the 1 foul so far.
I know Sykes played out here last year, but it always takes the imports a couple of weeks to acclimatise to the refereeing out here in Australia.
There is a difference. It's very true, and the imports certainly do have to get used to it quickly. Josh Sykes is being
Tom Wright gets his hand in the cookie jar there.
mauled.
Cookie does the same.
Jump
And
ball.
we've got a hell ball.
Josh Sykes falls to the floor. Sort of not sure what just occurred, because he had like rabid dogs, just that many Nunawading defenders all over him, and it ends up being Nunawading who have the ball now from the baseline. Josh Sykes now with the 3 turnovers. Mitch Lee applying the defence.
Renopoulos off the handoff, gives it to Cook in the corner. Not known for his threes and doesn't make on this occasion.
Grandy Glaze is mismatched, 3-on-1, turns
McDonald
back,
with a
probably
good
the
D.
right option, gives it to Shaffett.
Good D by Renopoulos there. Wright picks up the rebound. Good screen by Cook. Wright burns past Shaffett. And out of court off Eltham.
So Adam Doyle and Justin Ava re-enter the court in exchange for Sam Whelan and Dave Shaffett, the man we just spoke of. Aside from Mitch Lee, they're essentially back to probably their best 5, you would argue. Granny Glaze, of course, didn't start, but certainly shown himself to be an offensive presence.
Will definitely play big minutes in this league.
Yep.
Just his enthusiasm. Sykes gets up upstairs, but there's a foul call.
Foul likely to be on Justin Ava.
Fouls on number 9.
Some confusion.
For those of you watching at home, the foul was on number 8, Justin Ava, not number 9. That's his first personal. Third team foul for Eltham. 3 minutes into the second quarter. Want to get their hands out. And they'll be sending Nunawading to the line more often than not.
So Renopoulos at the line. That's the first to go.
Gosling makes first. He has 1 about.
Nunawading 6 of 7 now from the free throw line. 86%, shooting 63% from the field. 4 2-pointers. Swatala fights for the rebound. Loose ball, McDonald, Doyle, they scrap.
Doyle
big clash between Doyle and
Josh
Sykes. Bud gets it for his team and spots up for the 3.
Adam Doyle, it was far left.
Well off, and Sykes
Gets
picks
his
up
second-
a loose foul.
Second personal foul on Josh Sykes.
It's one you probably don't need to do this early in the game.
No.
Fouls on number 2.
But great effort from both teams there on that loose ball.
It's the 4th team foul now for the Wildcats. As you mentioned, we'll certainly want to just keep in control of those fouls because they can certainly pose a problem. I did go along to the first round where Eltham played at Diamond Valley, and the occasion was that they had 10 players, 5 of which were fouled off by the end of the game.
Ouch.
And so their 5 bench players essentially were on the court, and when they went into the overtime period with 5 of Eltham's best on 5 of Diamond Valley's not so best, Eltham Wildcats just powered away. So fouls can definitely be a big problem if you don't keep control of them.
Nunawading getting good rest minutes into Simon Conn and Lucas Walker here.
Adam Doyle
getting
gathers
good
the
minutes.
rebound. Passes, kicks on to his captain and Mitch Lee.
The length and athleticism of Sykes gets up there. It changes shots. And as we say that, Simon Conn coming back into the game for John Cook.
Ben Waldron is the leading scorer for the Wildcats with 8 points.
Eltham with arguably their best side on the floor at the moment.
Yeah, you would say so.
Probably a little bit undersized against Nunawading's roster.
Simon Bradbury just stands up on the bench, and I think he'll be heading on soon, so he'll add some size, no doubt. Glaze backing his way into the heat and puts it in for 2 points. So Taylor sort of just wondering what he should have done there, but it was 2 points for Glaze. There's a double team. Ava and Glaze applying it on McDonald.
Swatala gets inside the lane, goes at Sykes. Sykes puts it down. Renopoulos with the loose ball and puts in the 2.
And some solid defensive effort by Eltham, but seem to be falling down in favour of the Spectres at the offensive end. And they're capitalising on it now, leading by 13 points. Looking
Glaze.
inside to Glaze again. From the mid-range, can I get it to go? The foul call will be on Grandy Glaze, just a bit loose on the hands.
There's a foul on Grandy Glaze. That's his second personal foul.
And there'll be 2 free throws now for the Spectres.
By Simon Bradbury.
Glaze picking up his second personal foul. We'll have a breather. Eltham running with Sykes on 2, Waldron on 2 as well. And they are in the bonus with 6 minutes here to play in the second quarter with a 37-24 lead. Right with the first one.
And so he moves to 7 points, does Wright.
Bit of pressure up the floor here from Wright.
And now it's Doyle with the ball. Gives it to Josh Sykes, the 22-year-old. It's a foul call. The foul will be on Chronopoulos.
Sykes thought it was on him.
He would have flipped a table if there was one. If that foul had been on him.
Way he threw it away and walked down the other end. I thought he thought it was his. A little bit late getting there, and but Chronopoulos running into the back of Waldron.
Doyle now, the 36ers point guard. Pulls up for the mid-range and puts it in for two. Adam Doyle averaging around 16 points, as I said. And now with that score, I believe opens his scoring tonight. Oh no, he had 2 before, so now with 4 points. Simon Bradbury matches up against Switala on this occasion. Switala's so quick.
And gets the friendly roll. He has really stepped up this season so far. And good D there on Sykes.
Spots Waldron in the corner. What does Waldron do? Just backing his way in. What is it? Steps back. The defender in all sorts. Fouls. And Waldron will head to the line for 2. Foul there on Tom Wright, captain of the Spectres. His first personal foul. You mentioned Dane Switala. Tell us a bit about Switala's development with the Spectres over the years.
Sorry, what was that?
Tell us a bit about Dane Switala's development with the Spectres over the years. He's obviously proven himself to be quite the player.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's a great club man. He runs Nunawading's academy through the Forest Hill Secondary College with 34 students that train 4 days a week. Does all our beginner programs and camps. A good man to have around the club.
Waldron now with 10 points with those 2 successful free throws. And the man we're just speaking of, Switala, heads to the bench.
Walker checks back in.
McDonald now with the ball. Looks on to Chronopoulos, presenting at the top. It's right.
Once Walker finds his feet in the roster, it'll be an embarrassment of riches, really. Gets the roll as well. Who do you put off the bench? You bring Andrew Steele back into the starting lineup with McDonald and Wright and Con. Who sits off to start, Walker or Switala?
I don't want to be the person in charge of making that decision. Adam Doyle tries from long range, can't get it to go. Some of these rosters developing across the NBL1. I was having a look at Albury Wodongas today. Boy, their roster's looking very strong this season.
Walker hits Con down low, gets the seal on Bradbury and draws the foul.
We're going to foul number 35, Simon Bradbury, picking up his first personal.
Now, as you mentioned, Nunawading have just lost the 1 match. What do you think they were lacking in that first match against Ballarat where they went down?
Look, I'm just a domestic player, but if it were me, I'd be trying to pull a Couth out from the rim. You've got a man like Simon Con. McDonald and Wright have made a career off on-ball screens, hitting Con, getting their assists. I'd have had Simon Con on the short corner or kind of that 12-foot jumper on the baseline. Make Couth decide whether he was going the penetrator at the top in McDonald with a floater or Con on the short corner. So that's what I probably would have done. But yeah, he definitely changed some shots that night. And I think Nunawading will be better for the run, and especially adding Walker. I mean, Ballarat having an embarrassment of riches with Evans Jr. As Walker hits another 3. He is lighting it up. 11 points, 5 boards here for his new team. Leads all scorers. Yeah, so you've got Kwani, Akuth, Evans, and then Josh Fox as well to add some strength inside. So Sam Short at the guard. They're going to trouble a few teams as Waldron can't get it to go in, but draws the foul on Wright. That's a cheeky second for Wright. No, they've picked it up on 14. There is no 14 on the floor at the moment.
So it's 20 points the difference. The Wildcats probably intelligently take a timeout to discuss how they can peg this lead back. And so far, it's been Ben Waldron who's led the scoring. Granny Glaze with 7. He now sits on the bench. Adam Doyle has 4, so it'll be interesting to see what Trevor Lee tells the bench. Chris Cameron, of course, speaking to them right now. Chris Cameron, a veteran with the Eltham Wildcats. Played in previous Big V seasons, now directing the troops on the bench.
Yeah, great to see Chris Cameron back in the house at the Graveyard. Spent many a year back in the Siebel in the early 2010s through, I think, about 2015. Great clubman at the time as well, but now doing wonderful things over at Eltham. Boys Director of Coaching still?
Yep.
Yep.
That's right. He certainly is. And there's just a quick word from Trevor Lee, Coach Trevor Lee. Inspectors still in discussions. And now they head back out on court for the Wildcats. It's Bradbury, Waldron, Ava, Doyle and Sykes, who are the five that are going to have to find a way to start pegging back this margin of 20 points with 3.5 minutes to go in this second quarter.
Nunawading sticking with the same lineup, coming back out. Wright, McDonald, Chronopoulos, Walker and Con.
2 shots on the line now. Ben Walker.
And so Waldron adds to his scoring, comes to 11. I'm sure the Waldron clan will be tuning in as they always do. Can't get the second to go. So Doyle and Ava are at the top of the defense.
Good look by Chronopoulos. Good look by Walker to Con with the layup. Great ball movement by Nunawading.
It's a good finish by Simon Con.
And this is quite an impressive offensive display by Nunawading. 50 points here with still 3 minutes to play in the first half. Shooting an impressive 60% from the field, 80% from the line, and 50% from beyond the arc.
Wildcats shooting at just 39%
Great
from the
hands
field as
there.
Adam Doyle loses touch of it.
Walker's doing everything at the moment. 11.6 rebounds, 2 assists, and now a steal to go to it.
Chronopoulos
And
comes out in the hands of
probably could have looked at
Walker.
it. Everything's going well. Chronopoulos and another assist from Walker. Chronopoulos with the 2 over the arm of Sykes. If I was Lee, I'd be getting Glaze back in pretty quick.
This is tough viewing for the Wildcats fans out there.
Good D by Chronopoulos.
It's an
and
offensive
draws the
foul
foul.
called on Adam Doyle.
That's what Chronopoulos brings to the table. A lot of intensity in defence, enthusiasm in offence, grabs those loose balls, really earns his minutes well.
And so Grandy Glaze, the man you just mentioned, comes back onto the court.
Steele and Saunders stepping back on for Nunawading. McDonald and Chronopoulos earning a well-earned break.
And so Glaze takes Sykes, who is probably not so impressed that he has to head to the bench, but he will. And so it's a 23-point margin in favour of the Nunawading Spectres at their home court here at the Graveyard.
Doyle with the cheeky hands there. Inside to Con, steps back on Bradbury, well short. Good hustle by Saunders to pull the loose ball out of Glaze's hands.
The 5th offensive rebound.
3 on the shot clock.
Spectres.
Tom Wright has to jack it. Gets off the rim. Walker goes again, but Glaze takes it away.
A big rebound by Grandy Glaze.
Kicks it to Waldron in transition. Good defense by Wright.
Now Doyle. Glaze sets the on ball. Doyle is saying, okay, let's run through a play here. Now on the left hand, 10 seconds remaining on the shot. Puts it up.
Steele with the rebound.
So Con inside, matches up again against Bradbury. Who can be the winner here?
Con with the inside dump to Walker, kicks it out to Saunders, who looks for another 3. Can he make it 4? He does make it 4! Saunders is really hitting his straps this season. Teams are going to have to start taking notice. Saunders now with 7 points, must have been a long 2.
Yep. That was a good spot by Glaze. Waldron off the glass.
Nice
Bit of a
drive.
reversal, can't get it to go.
Simon Con's picked up his second. So Twala checking back into the game.
Simon Conley's second personal foul. Dan Switala coming on for
In exchange for Saunders, is it?
Spectres.
Simon Con heads to the bench. As you mentioned, with those 2 personal fouls. Waldron at the line, moves to 12 points now.
Good by Swatala off the rim as it comes up.
Fully legal play.
He's worked that out this season. That's probably the 6th or 7th time I've seen that from him. He times his jump quite well. Minute 10 to play here in the first half. Steal from long range. Can't get it to go.
Looked all right. Ava gathers the defensive rebounds. Coming up behind him, lurking was Saunders. Now it's Doyle. Looks inside to Glaze. Swatala on the defense. Glaze steps back around the free throw area, puts it in for two. It was a nice play by Grandy Glaze. Now he'll move to 9 points.
Nunawading will want to get a basket here. They won't want it to go in less than 20. Kicks it to Saunders in the corner again. Can he go again? No, not this time.
Yeah, it was probably a foul there.
And we've got a foul on Eltham. Walker taking 2 shots.
Justin Ava, recipient of that foul. And Ava now with 2 personal fouls.
To the line for the Spectres, Lucas Walker with 2.
There has been plenty of fouls for the Wildcats. They're fairly evenly spread. No player with more than 2 at this stage.
Likes the friendly rolls at Nunawading. I don't think one's gone the bottom of the net yet.
Shooting at 83% from the field and 100% from the free throw line. Just taking his time.
Just being told to tuck his shirt back in by referee Melissa Andriola. Oh, clearly affected the shot.
Well, yeah, he was playing on his mind.
Untuck.
So Doyle spots Glaze once again, heading inside to the paint, puts it off the glass for 2. That's what Glaze does best.
Nice strong move inside, good spin. 20 seconds here to play. Nunawading holding a 21-point lead.
Glaze now with 11 points, just trails behind Waldron with the 12 for the Wildcats. 14 seconds remaining in this second quarter. 21 points the difference in favour of the Spectres.
Walker with the on-ball, right, comes off it, kicks to Steele, kicks back,
Walker
penetrates,
presented.
pulls up, can't get it,
The board by
and
Simon
that's the
Bradley.
half.
Draws to a close. A very solid start by the Nunawading Spectres. It's been one half of basketball. They have 55 points to show for it. The Eltham Wildcats with just 34.
And we'll see you back here, ladies and gentlemen, in about 4 minutes. We'll try and get an interview with Coach Paul Flynn if he's still in the house. If not, we'll see you back as the third quarter resumes. And we're back here at the graveyard, ladies and gentlemen. 2 minutes until tip-off in the third quarter. Nunawading holding a 21-point lead, 55-34. What can Eltham do, mate?
Well, of course, as they did in the last game where they were trailing by 18 points in that second quarter and came out and turned it around to be leading by 6 points at the end of the third quarter. We're looking to the likes of Josh Sykes and Grandy Glaze, the two imports, to find some scores. Sam Whelan and Adam Doyle combined in the 1-2 position and put up a few threes of their own, and that sort of just developed a bit of momentum. And it only takes a little bit to get it going, and before you know it, they can be right on the tail of the Spectres. But the Spectres, of course, have looked so composed from the outset, and through the scoring of Simon Conn with 12 points, Luke Walker, a great addition to the team now with 12 points, and of course James Sutalo with 7 of his own. They've looked the goods so far, and if you want to turn it around from 21 points the difference, the Wildcats are going to have to pull off something special. Also just looking around at the games around the state, at the moment it's the Geelong Supercats leading Frankston by 2 points in the fourth quarter.
Frankston have been a bit of a surprise packet this year.
Yeah,
not much
that's
coming
one
out
way
of
to
there,
describe it.
Yeah.
But, they could get over the line in this last quarter. It'll be interesting to see how that one plays out. But of course, here at the graveyard, it is the Nunawading Spectres with that home court support leading by 21 points.
Coach Lee taking all of his 10 minutes here, just strolling back out on the court with 28 seconds to go. Must have given all the instructions in the rooms to the boys.
What do you think the Spectres just come out there and keep doing what they've been doing? Do they need to make any change, or have they been so solid from the start that they just keep going as they're going?
No, I think, look, you've got to keep going at Sykes, pick up those fouls. The key players will do what they do. You just got to try and contain them where possible, change the shots. Defensively, we've been quite solid. I mean, 34 points and a half of basketball is good defence. I know Nunawading will try and keep it to around that 30 at times, so 34 is not too bad. Walker's impressed so far, 12, 7 and 4, just stepping off a plane and into the roster. So they'll probably look to get this out, if they can, to 30 points and maybe give the kids a run and see out the game that way. But never count your chickens before they've hatched, mate.
That's right.
Plenty of time left in this game.
The team stats, the Eltham Wildcats shooting at 42% from the field. We want to be just notching that up a little bit because they're matching up against the Spectres, who are shooting 54% from the field. The rebounds also majorly in favour of the Spectres with those big bodies, 24 to 15. And Josh Sykes, who's the strongest rebounder so far for the Wildcats with 4. Grandy Glaze also has 4 himself. So we restart.
Eltham going with probably their best lineup.
Adam Doyle inside the perimeter, can't get the first score for the Wildcats. Simon Conn gathered the rebound.
Eltham going into a 2-3 matchup zone. Might be McDonald pulling up for 3. Makes them pay to begin.
That is one way to start the third quarter. And just stamp your authority on the match with a 3-ball. And that's exactly what McDonald did. And so it's Waldron now. Looks inside to Josh Sykes. Can he rise? He's fouled. Puts it in for 2.
Just gives him a little nudge under the rim. Sutala's just got to let that one go. Understand that he got good position. That's his third personal, not what Nunawading need so early in the half.
Serious foul trouble. He keeps going at the way he's going. Josh Sykes at the line for 1 free throw. And after the 3-ball of McDonald in that first possession for the Spectres, Josh Sykes really would like to hit this free throw. But he can't do it. And now the Wildcats are shooting 50% from the free throw line, which they won't like after the Eltham women were shooting at 90%.
Kicks it into Renopoulos, and the foul on Sykes. Gets it, ball and body it looks like. That's his third personal foul. That's going to hurt the Eltham Wildcats.
It's a pushing foul on Josh Sykes. So it'll be Renopoulos who goes to the line for 2 free throws. Sykes none too pleased with that call, but there's plenty of body in it. So
Coach Lee's more worried about how Renopoulos gets under the rim without being seen in the zone.
Which is perhaps the better approach to trying to mitigate that.
Can't make the first one drop. And second, but he follows it up. Swatala can't get it, doesn't want to pick up the 4th.
An offensive rebound with just 1 rebounder And now it's Doyle for the Wildcats.
Oh, double dribble there, and the
like
referee picks it up. You never want to preempt the referee call, but
No,
that one was pretty obvious.
Yeah, he brought in that other hand and used them both, and that's always going to be a double dribble.
It's a bit of a slow start here to the third quarter. No team really putting on an offensive display like they did in the first half.
Despite all the energy at half-time from the great dancers.
Tyler comes off the screen, goes to work on Sykes, steps back, off the glass, and a nice little two there.
Sykes obviously
up to 9 points.
Sykes obviously not wanting to rack up any more fouls. He has 3 now, so he sort of just provides his own body. See what he can do now. Doyle heading inside is fouled. He gets it to go. There's been a couple of
strong move by Doyle there.
A couple of 3-point plays on offer in this first phase of play in this third quarter. Adam Doyle now heads to the line for 1. And when you're shooting 6 from 12 from the line, you'd want to hit these 2. He hits the 1 rather, and with that, Adam Doyle now has 7 points.
Right, looks loaded. Swatala. Swatala's going to pop this. Oh no, kicks it out to Wright for the 3. Waldron closes out, but he's too late, and Wright makes him pay.
That's 2 massive daggers from the Spectres in this third quarter. The first one from McDonald, the second from Wright, and that will just really stifle any sort of energy that the Wildcats wanted to bring.
Nice cut by Ava there, and well recognised by Glaze.
22 points the difference. 2 minutes into this third quarter.
Swatala gets Sykes up in the air, and a technical foul coming on Ava for demonstrative action. Swatala is down hurt. Fouls on Grandy Glaze for the blocking foul. That's his 3rd personal. And then Justin Ava picks up his 3rd personal with a technical foul for not agreeing with the call, let's say.
When you're down by 22 points, regardless of what you think of the call, sometimes you just have to accept it because you don't want to be giving the Spectres any more free throws than they have.
Tyler's up after a bit of concern about his elbow, but he looks all right now.
Good line, Southern Con.
Simon Conn makes the first of the technical free throws. And gets the friendly roll for both.
6 from 6 from the line is Simon Conn.
Nunawading still shooting 58% from the field. And Eltham's not shooting badly either. They're at 46%. Oh, that's an interesting passing bounce to Simon Conn. Can't get it up against Glaze. Glaze bodies him out of it.
Ava was the beneficiary. Kicks it on to Ben
Waldron.
Waldron.
Attacks the rim,
Finds
gets
the
up there,
pathway to
and
the
Conn
basket.
just too slow. Swatala really needs to come across there and help D on that one. That was a bit of a breakdown in communication. Conn now with 3 personals. Swatala with 3. You'd expect Walker to come back into the roster soon.
As Waldron made his way towards the basket, was sort of just waiting for the defender to get there, and no one really presented, and ultimately it was a foul. So Waldron now at the line with 2 free throws, makes the first.
I'm really impressed by Waldron. I watched him, as I mentioned, when he was at Hawthorn in the Youth League. It was a monster on the rebounds at Youth League level, and has fitted in nicely here.
Well, as I was talking about with Eltham Wildcats CEO Greg Jeffers last week, never played championship level basketball through the Marist. Through the Marsland program. He really developed as a basketballer. And now, with his 3 brothers, hits the court for the Eltham Wildcats with his experienced head now for the Wildcats, having played state champion for the Wildcats for a number of years. Now, he's one of the leading scorers for the Wildcats in this match.
Right, kicks it to Conn on the short corner and makes it count. That's another 2. Nice pass by Chronopoulos, spotting up the informed Simon Conn. He now has 14 points for Nunawading, 16 points to lead all scorers. Glaze wants to isolate Conn down low. Conn's got to be careful not to get 4.
Glaze.
Nice little shot by Glaze.
Touch by Glaze.
McDonald under a bit of pressure. Sykes putting some pressure on the ball carrier. Swatala bringing it up. Chronopoulos kicks it to Wright. Wright drives, puts up the floater, Doesn't get to go.
Falls out of court. Glaze ended up on the floor.
Glaze is on the floor.
Protesting.
Does a couple of push-ups.
He's an entertainer. And the court wipers will be out there to just clean up. And it's 22 points.
Eltham just hanging around here. They're not making huge inroads,
Well,
but they're just
blown
sticking
out,
with it. Yeah.
which was very conducive towards doing that when you sort of have that 20-point buffer. But they've managed to sort of hold on to it for now, and they need to find a way now to start bringing it back. Doyle, as I mentioned, the Adelaide 36's point guard, gives it off to Waldron now. Glaze on the edge of the keyway.
Good hand there by Chronopoulos. Gets this cheeky steal again. Technical foul.
Technical foul is called this time. I suspect is
on Glaze. That's his fourth personal.
We got a technical foul on Brandy Glaze.
I'm not sure what for there.
Well, his character sort of pushes the boundaries, and it's sort of just up to the referees to make the decision of when that transgresses, and that was the occasion right there where he receives a technical foul.
He's assured Coach Lee that he's under control and can play with the 4 fouls, but a lot of time left in this game. He'll do extremely well to go without a foul for the next 16.5 minutes. Con misses the first, can't make him pay. Can't get the second either. Con never really misses 2 in a row. That's uncharacteristic.
So the inbound is for McDonald. Adam Doyle steps up to defend.
Nunawading will need to be careful not to just focus on going at Glaze for that 5th foul. Stay in their systems.
Right. Puts it up the mid-range jumper, puts it in for 2.
Nunawading just maintaining this 24-point lead. 6 minutes 20 left here in the 3rd quarter.
They'll be comfortable with that. No need to try anything different than they've done so far. Glaze. To Waldron. Gives it back to Glaze, as we mentioned on the 4 personal fouls, backing his way in on Con. Doyle now, as someone in the crowd is noting, it's running out of time quickly on the shot clock. Josh Sykes was way off.
Good defensive set. Ben Waldron's not happy standing at the tee. Got looked top of the key. Got looked off a couple of times by. And we're just moving to the sideline with the shot clock violation.
So McDonald again, keeps it on to Chronopoulos. Con and Glaze inside, interesting matchup. And now it's Wright. Also taking their full 24 seconds. Looks to Switala. Sykes matching up. Heading inside at Switala.
Nice move by Switala. Uses the body strength, goes up against Sykes and puts it in. 26-point lead to Nunawading.
Switala now with 11 points. He's been very strong tonight. Glaze
pulling up.
Given some room and he puts it in for 2.
Glaze now with 15 points to lead all Eltham scorers. Waldron with 14.
Shooting 70% from the field. 7 of 10 is Glaze. As he did last week, providing definitely a threat in this 3rd quarter. Mitch Lee steps up on the interchange to enter.
Con with the little left hand, can't get it to go, but gets the rebound, kicks it out. Oh, Doyle reads it best. McDonald straight up.
Heading towards the basket.
Switala comes over top.
Can't
get it. Waldron with the rebound and gets the M1. Nunawading got to do a better job than that.
It was an all-out offense there by Eltham Wildcats. Whether it was Doyle, Sykes or Waldron, all 3 of them really should have found a way to finish, but it was Waldron who did in the end. And to go along with that is fouled. We'll head to the line for one more. So Whelan checks in as Adam Doyle heads to the bench for a spell. Simon Con, Chronopoulos, both heading to the bench for the Spectres. Con leading the scorers with 16 for the Spectres. Waldron also with 16. Look to lead all scorers with this free throw. Can't get it to go. Can he gather an offensive rebound?
Right, chases it down and gets it to Switala. Good hustle there from all teams.
It was very much so. So McDonald, Whelan applying the defence. Directing traffic is McDonald. Switala comes up to set the on-ball screen. Right now on the left hand, heading into the keyway. Josh Sykes with the defence, of course. Sykes with the 3 personal fouls, wants to be careful. They get 2 points from it. So Shaffett now, what can he do? Turns around, does a couple of spins, turns to the basket, can't get it to go. Josh Sykes hustling back up the court. So it's kicked out to right again.
Great part.
Only 3 seconds. Didn't have my eye on Swatala, but it can happen as Bradbury and Mitch Lee enter the court.
Mitch Lee, Simon Bradbury.
The lineup now for the Wildcats. It's Lee, Whelan, Bradbury, Glaze, and Shafford. See how this 5 combine with 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Glaze again wants the ball, as he tends to do. Shafford elects to go by himself to the top. Gives it to Whelan. Glaze still hustling. And this time the pass was from Bradbury. It's probably a little bit too high when he's cutting.
Nice pass by McDonald, and Wright puts the 2 in.
So right now with 16 points, isn't he being strong tonight? Now it's Lee. Glaze once again with that high hand, asking for the ball, pleading for the ball, gets the ball, backing his way in again, finds Whelan from the perimeter. Sam Whelan, he's strong from outside, can't get it to go. The rebound was fought between Swatala and Mitch Lee. Comes down in favour of Swatala.
He's out to steal, drives and puts the 2 in, just steps through. And Coach Lee's seen about enough of that.
Now Burgeon right out for the Spectres. 28 points to lead. And that's going to be a very, very tough lead to pull back for the Wildcats. Being a little demoralised on the bench. Of course, Justin Ava, the captain, pleading with the guys to stay confident. They've got some solid systems that they've been working on the off-season. When you're coming up against the likes of the Spectres and some of their quality players, you have to find a way to stay with your mental game in check.
Might be an opportune time for Coach Lee to throw Ovi Magbegor into the lineup, add a bit more height, a bit more athleticism.
Well, Ovi Magbegor, we should mention, of course, his sister Ezzy was selected in the 12th pick of the WNBA draft most recently, heading to the Seattle Storm. Yep. And Ovi, of course, is a great player in his own right.
I hear on the grapevine that the Phoenix Mercury, who picked up Alana Smith, also wanted Ezzy to play for them and was shattered when Seattle didn't take her. Now I believe Ezzy will be staying in Australia for this year.
That's right.
And then go to Seattle next year
for the 2020 season.
For the 2020 season, indeed. So great to see 2 young girls really get rewarded for their hard work there.
Both Coburg juniors, the Magbegors. Ezzy, of course, has been playing in WNBL ranks for a couple of seasons now, and now head over next year to play in the WNBA, which recognises the amount of work that she's put on over many of years, including representing Australia. And now it's back in Eltham's hands with 3 minutes remaining. 28 points the margin. Shafford with the ball. Glaze slides through, collects the ball in the corner. 8 seconds remaining the shot clock. Sam Whelan in the corner pleads for it off the glass. Shafford's fouled and heads to the line for 2.
Tommy Wright picks up his 4th personal. Nunawading are now in the bonus. Probably an unnecessary reach there from Captain Tom Wright.
Substitution for the Spectres.
And with that said, Jack Saunders comes into the game. Tom Wright having a breather probably for the rest of this quarter and some of the last. No point keeping him out there at the lead at 28 at the moment.
Shafford makes one, has one to come.
Shafford at the line makes the first. And the second as well. Ben Waldron, with his 16 points, heads to the interchange area. Whelan trying
Saunders not afraid and can't get the friendly roll, but Swatala goes up against Bradbury and draws the arm contact. Unlucky there on Saunders. I thought that was saw everything but the bottom of the net.
So Ben Waldron does run into the court. Randy Glaze with his 4 personal fouls. He'll head to the bench. Never really looked out of sorts tonight at all, the Spectres. They, from the very start, they're leading 10-3 really early on, and they've managed to just continue putting on the score throughout the match. Now leading once again by 28 points. Shaffett turns and puts it in for 3 to Dave Shaffett.
Lovely shot there.
It was a nice looking shot. A nice loop on it. He gets it to go.
Walker wants it down low, kicks it out to McDonald, kicks it back. An adventurous pass there.
Waldron fouls. There'll be 2 free throws here for Walker. What have you made of Walker's game tonight?
I've been very impressed, yeah, very impressed. For a guy who's come in, only had 1 training session with the boys on Tuesday night, then flew up to Cairns, flew back this afternoon. He's, yeah, he hasn't looked out of place, and I think there's big things to come for this roster. Nunawading almost at full fitness. There was an injury cloud over both Swatala and Con today, but both have come up fairly well and seem to have contributed fairly well. Con with the 16 points and 7 boards. Swatala with 13 and 7.
So it's Whelan now with the ball for the Wildcats. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Waldron looks to Bradbury. The pass was intercepted by Saunders. Is it off to Steele now?
Great look to Swatala. Kicks it back out to Saunders. Kicks it around to McDonald. Pulls up from deep. And nothing but the bottom of the net. That is a lovely 3 from McDonald. Nunawading have now stretched it out to a 30-point lead, 84-54. This could get very ugly very quickly for Eltham.
Swatala showing confidence in his outside shooters. Just gathers the ball underneath and kicks it out.
And Waldron comes right back out Nunawading.
In for 3.
Waldron with 19 points now.
Waldron pops out for the defence now on the closeout. Now over on the other side. It was Steele who couldn't get the
McDonald
3 to
kicks
go.
it to Swatala out in the corner. Up fakes.
Waldron.
Waves off the 3. McDonald kicks it again. Doesn't wave that one off. And why would he when it goes down the bottom of the net like that? Lovely shooting by Nunawading.
Swatala pouring more points on now. The foul called. It was slightly delayed if you ask Ben Waldron, but there'll be 2 free throws now. The foul on Walker.
I think there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on between the two of them. Waldron gave a cheeky little tap before Walker threw his head back. Walker gives a cheeky tap. Waldron throws his head back. It's all good fun.
Expect in jest as
good
always. Waldron at the line, looking to add on to his 19 points. Can't get the first one to go. Makes the second, and the Spectres fans are being treated to a very solid performance. Plenty in the house tonight at the Graveyard. And they're leading by 29 points. Presenting it to McDonald. He has a laneway to the basket, kicks it out.
Saunders gets it up again. Steele challenges it. McDonald picks up the loose ball just in time before Whelan gets there. McDonald drops it off to Walker, who puts down the 2.
And Lucas Walker with 16 points. Joins Con and Swatala also on 16. Sam Whelan's fouled. He leads the line for 2.
We got a foul on number 32, Lucas Walker.
Walker now with 3. Joins Swatala and Con also on 3. We mentioned Wright as the 4. Of course, Eltham also with their own problems on the foul line. Glaze with 4. Avert, Waldron and Sykes have 3 each. So Whelan makes the second of the 2.
Last 10 seconds of the third quarter here. Nunawading with the ball. On ball by Walker. McDonald kicks to Steele. Steele comes off the step. Can't get it up without the hand in his face and hits the back of the backboard. And that's it for the third quarter. Nunawading holding a 30-point lead. 89-59 here at the Graveyard. Signs not looking too good for Eltham. Probably just want this night to be over with, I would imagine.
The Spectres led by 21 points at half time, now leading by 30. in that first half, they relied on the likes of Con just in that mid-range area, as he always does, hitting those shots. And now in this third quarter, we saw some great work from the perimeter. Whether it was Swatala or Walker, they found their form from outside, and that was just more and more points. And Wildcats, probably, when you look back at their match, didn't have a terrible third quarter considering how their first half went. But of course, the Spectres continued their form and now lead, as you mentioned, by 30 points.
Nunawading taking the lead in all statistical categories except blocks, 33 rebounds to 20, 19 assists to 6 and 7 steals to 2. Nunawading shooting an impressive 57% from the field, and really Eltham still shooting 47 themselves, so they haven't been outgunned from the shot side of things. It's just the rebounding and the 10 offensive boards that Nunawading have picked up that have seen the difference here.
With 10 pretty hurtful turnovers, and not getting up the shots that they'd necessarily get in other weeks. With the great defensive work of the Spectres, they've been forced to beat the defensive end for more of the match than they certainly would like. And even though they are shooting 48% from the field, as you mentioned, they've only poured in the 59 points tonight. And the Spectres hitting the scoreboard hard now with 89 points at three-quarter time, with a real opportunity to exceed the triple figures and push on for more. This will be a tough final period of play for the Wildcats, no doubt. And as well, as should be noted, now with this a great opportunity for the Spectres to get into some of the depth off the bench with this lead, which is a great chance to develop in this NBL1 roster.
It looks like Van Ryan's got his warm-up jersey off, so maybe hinting to Coach Duncan Berg to put me in, Coach.
Yeah, that's one way to do it.
Crowd starting to thin out a little bit as the margin increases and the night draws to a close. People seen enough. Well, we've got 10 minutes here to play at the Graveyard. Walker fade away, short on that one. Good defense by Waldron and Lee.
So Whelan now has the ball for the Wildcats. Glaze back on the court. Doyle heading baseline, just retreats, finds Whelan. Now Waldron, does he go from the perimeter? Ben Waldron looked all right, but Glaze gathered the offensive board. Kicks it to Doyle now. Doyle too short.
Doyle's been kept very quiet tonight. Just the 7 points and 2 rebounds. No assists for Doyle, which is very unlike him. Hronopoulos breaks through the D, kicks it to Saunders in the corner, checks his toes and makes it count. Saunders picking up another 3 points there. 10 for the night.
This is what I mentioned when they don't need to rely on their inside scorers so much when they're finding form from the perimeter. And that was just exemplifying that right there. Now it's Glaze. What does he do? Gives it off to Waldron. With his 20 points is Ben Waldron. The foul called, the first foul of the quarter. The score won't count.
Walker's picked up his 4th here. Coach Berg having a seat on the bench. I don't think he's too concerned at this point in time.
His entry onto the stat line was a charge. Now as he has his 4th foul. But when you look back at the game with 16 points, you can say that he's had a very solid start to his career with the Nunawading Spectres. Whelan now again from 3. Second 3 for the night, too short again.
Off Nunawading leg there.
The Wildcats shooting, it is still a decent percentage, but some of those outside shots that they would get in other weeks just aren't landing tonight. 27% from the perimeter tonight, 4 of 16. That's tough. Doyle in the corner now. It's a holding foul call. It's the second team foul now for the Spectres. And at the baseline, it's Adam Doyle, the inbound. Glaze presents. Goes for the screen. Waldron now. Does he take the shot? No. Gives it back to Glaze. Doyle. Eltham still trying their hardest with some space. Glaze can't get it to go with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. The rebound for Sotalo.
Sotalo with the point guard rolls this time down the floor. Gives it to Hronopoulos. Directing traffic. Looking at a nice cross screen. He'll come off it. Good switch by Lee there. Recognised the shooter. Hronopoulos hits still in the corner. Clears some space, gets it up, just in time. Can't make it go, though.
There's another big, strong rebound by Glaze, who finds Lee. Glaze hits the deck hard. Doyle finds Whelan, kicks on to Waldron. Can he make it 23? No, he can't. And the rebound was for Hronopoulos.
Hronopoulos a little bit erratic here. Swatala calling him up. No, Doyle's wearing him like a glove. Saunders not shy. Steele gets the loose ball.
Man applied to him, but it would have been a nice moment just to cap off his solid performance tonight.
Nice composure shown here by Swatala. He's going to hit Cook in the corner. Cook goes for the drive, spin, fades. Don't often see that from John Cook.
Whelan kicks it on to Doyle. Doyle, Wildcats still a bit undermanned, but now it's 5-5 each. Glaze inside the key. Steps back for the fadeaway off the glass. Can't get it to go to Swatala with their hand. Now there's the defensive rebound.
Swatala now one rebound away from a double-double.
Can't get that one to go off the glass, Swatala, so it's Lee who gathered the rebound. 37 rebounds, plays 25 in favour of the Spectres. It's been one of the differences. There's a technical foul called on 15. Not entirely sure what it was in relation to.
I don't think anyone on the floor other than the referee. I think he was questioning how long.
Okay. I just wonder if it's the first time it's happened or if it's sort of been an ongoing thing, perhaps.
I think referee Justin Hamilton warned Captain Tom Wright earlier in the game, just from a team perspective, that to cool it a little bit, and then yeah, Cookie there just questioned a couple times too often.
Doyle makes the first at the line. And he gets the second fall as well. Josh Sykes, excitement machine, hasn't probably had quite the amount of excitement he's had in previous weeks, but he re-enters the court.
Van Ryn coming onto the floor for the first time tonight.
Sykes with the 5 points and 5 rebounds. There's 4 assists, which isn't too bad for the big man.
And Jack Gandolfo also making his first appearance for the night. Jack's a lovely little three-point shooter. Plays hefty minutes in our youth league men. Good screen by Cook there. Out of court by Gandolfo. Just run out of space.
I just wonder if McVigar will enter the court for the Wildcats soon. Mentioned the youth program. Both the Spectres and the Wildcats both been very successful youth league teams. Wildcats undefeated so far.
Yes, reigning grand finalists went head-to-head last year. Nunawading getting the bickies that year. Falling short against Kilsyth the year before, so always good matchups.
Sykes, foul called. It's the 4th team foul. Foul on Van Ryn. But yes, both the Spectres and the Wildcats will have another strong youth league season, no doubt.
Nunawading still to get a couple of their college boys back in. Bit up and down to start the season. Playing some good basketball and then some not so good basketball, but yeah, bringing the likes of Trent Warren and Remo Simonkiewicz back into the roster, and Zach Coleman-Bach. They'll be a force to contend with again, I would imagine.
Waldron, left hand, goes back to the right, turns to the basket. A good spin move is fouled. Going to the line for 2 again. He's been at the free throw line for a lot of the night.
We might be here all night if we know we're already in the bonus. We might be here for quite a while tonight. Settle in, ladies and gentlemen.
5 fouls to 0 in this final quarter. And Waldron, as I said, with 20 points at this stage. Can't get the first to go.
Waldron with a very good game here, 20 points, 3 boards. Really led from the front for his team. Some of the bigger names in the team have been a bit quiet tonight, but he definitely hasn't had his colours lowered by the Spectres.
That's right, just averaging the 9 points per game so far in the season. We'll be really happy with the 20 points he's pulled in tonight.
Cook with the on-ball screen. Steele passes it to Saunders. Saunders hits up Gandolfo, looks inside to Van Ryn. Van Ryn going to work on Sykes. Kicks it to Gandolfo, and we've got a walk.
Eltham with the ball, 5:54 left in this game.
It's Doyle again from the perimeter. And as has been the case,
good rebound by Van Ryn there
tonight for the Wildcats, just not getting them to go from long range. Now,
Steele pulls up from 3. Can't get that to go.
the referee getting involved in the action. It's a foul called. Foul was called on Cook. It's his 4th personal foul. It's more free throws for the Wildcats. This time will be Sykes, and it's a timeout taken.
Called by the Spectres. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome out Hector the Spectre. Let's hear it for him. Come on, get your hands going for Hector.
So at 30 points the difference here, and as this timeout is called, the Wildcats will need to find a way to regroup during the week because they come up against Geelong, I believe you mentioned, and still plenty of rounds left in this long season of NBL1, and these losses can be tough, but it's about the way you regroup and decide what you can deliver, and the Wildcats trailing by 30 points thus far. The Spectres, on the other hand, will be really happy with this eventual win that they'll pull in, having won 3 of their 4 so far. That loss to Ballarat in the first round. Ballarat, a very strong side this year. With the likes of Sam Short comes from Melbourne United, put in about 24 points or so in that first match, and so they'll be developing their confidence again, having won 4 in a row. This match is finished up.
Nunawading done a very good job tonight defensively on all the big names for Eltham. Sykes just the 7 points, 8 points now. Doyle just the 9, Ava 4.
Well, that's right, and Sykes and the likes of Sykes and Glaze, they can score hard, but when they score, they develop a lot of energy in the team, and if you can stifle that energy quickly, it won't help the Wildcats develop any momentum. And so Waldron's put in the 20, but it hasn't seemed to garner them as much as the likes of the Sykes dunks and the Glaze finishes as they otherwise would in the previous weeks.
Nunawading just losing their way a little bit here, a little bit junk ball. Need to just switch back on, and it's been a clinical performance by Nunawading tonight, but just need to close it out like a quality team.
That's right. I'm sure that the coaching staff of the Spectres will be wanting them to finish as they started, and that's professionally and with class. And
Dolfo looks inside to Cook, gets the good seal. Doyle with the hold there.
Wildcats with their first team foul of the quarter.
Foul is on number 19, Adam Doyle, his 2nd personal foul.
And Doyle with the 2 fouls. Now it's Gandolfo at the baseline.
Saunders for the short corner 2. Cook, Van Ryn with the fighting loose ball, but can't get it down to another Nunawading player.
Waldron is the beneficiary, gives it to Wheel, and now Ava. Saunders applying the defense. Ava spots Adam Doyle from the perimeter.
Just hasn't looked in sync tonight, Doyle.
No.
Nunawading done a good job defensively on him, put him out of his comfort zone.
He's averaging 16 points. He put in 19, I think, last week, and just hasn't found the scoreboard so far tonight. He has just the 9 points, which I'm sure looking back, the Spectres were pretty happy to hold him to that, considering he is, of course, an NBL caliber player. So they have 8 seconds to work with.
Hits Steele on the wing. Can't get it to drop. Outlet pass is way off target.
Sykes gathered his 6th rebound, and as he's done a few times tonight, just throws it away. And he has an array of turnovers, unfortunately, for the Wildcats, mostly from some stray passes.
Cook spotting up for 3 on the wing. Can't get it go. Good rebound by Van Ryn. Looks himself. And he's hit another one. He's started the year very well from outside. Van Ryn, known for his outside shooting, but as he's gone up the senior ranks, he's played more and more a 3-4 and not the 2 spot. So when he gets the opportunity to step out, hit Saunders. Saunders won't hesitate. Cook with the rebound over Doyle. Big mismatch there. Saunders kicks it to Steele in the low block. Mismatch on Ava. Steps underneath Sykes. Can't get it to roll. Waldron with the rebound. 3 minutes 15 here left. Nunawading holding the 31-point lead in what has been a bit of a lacklustre fourth quarter, I would say.
Not made for the most exciting of basketball, but that tends to be the case with a margin like this.
I think everybody's ready for the night to be...
Josh Sykes provides a little bit of entertainment to finish the night with a big dunk. And Dave Shaffett.
I'm pretty sure his head was actually above the backboard at that point.
Just has such massive hops to Josh Sykes.
Unfortunately, I think he needed that about halfway through the first quarter to get the Eltham crowd involved and give a bit of energy, but not to be, unfortunately.
No, the Wildcats just haven't really provided enough fodder to chew on for the Wildcats fans tonight.
Gandolfo hits up Steele on the wing, drives in, puts up 2. Cook over the back, can't get it to another Nunawading body. Eltham ball.
With his 4 fouls, I thought that was a bold way of approaching the rebound there from Cook, but nothing came of it. So it's
when you play a certain way, you play a certain way.
Yeah, that's right.
You live or die by it.
Yep. So Whelan, Sykes applying the on balls.
Nice pass by Whelan on the back cut from Waldron for another 2.
Just hasn't hit the scoreboard for a little while, but finally re-enters now and has 22 points.
Gandolfo gets into the key, kicks it out to Steele, steps out to 3. That looks good, but a bit short. Cook again fights, goes to Saunders. Van Ryn gets into the key, little floater over Sykes, can't get the friendly roll.
Oh, Shaffett get a real loop on it if you want to get over the hands of the flying Josh Sykes. He managed to do so.
Shaffett pulls up for 3, and it's good.
It's his second 3 of the night, Dave Shaffett. We'll just get the wipers out there to polish off the floor.
Tried getting in and out sneakily, but the quick 3 by Shaffett put him under pump.
So 24 points separates. Of course, it was 30 points at 3/4 time. So the Wildcats have begged it back a little bit. Of course, they're not matching up against the strongest 5 from Nunawading, but at least they can walk away saying that they put in the effort in that final quarter despite the margin that was. Waldron and Ava hustling. There's a foul called though. The foul was on Ben Waldron, his 4th personal foul. Under 2 minutes remaining.
It's Van Ryn in the corner for another 3. A bit long on that occasion. Steele gets the tap out to Saunders. Kicks it back to Steele. Saunders penetrates. Goes at Shaffett. Nice over the top of Sykes and puts in the layup. Saunders now with 12 points.
Points. It's a nice haul of points for Saunders off the bench. Josh Sykes.
Good D by Cook and gets the offensive foul.
He'll head to the sidelines. Oh, this is 4th rather. And Mitch Lee will enter the court. Will be an exchange for Sykes. It's Whelan will head to the bench, and Glaze now. He has 4.
You got to think
Josh Sykes off.
You got to think that Coach Lee will take both imports out now.
No,
nothing to be gained in the last minute 30 except an injury.
But alas, here we are.
Yes. Sykes keeps throwing his body at the rim like that. Might only be a matter of time. Gandolfo looked at pull up, still for 3. It's a bit wayward, can't get the roll. Van Ryn chasing it down. Shaffett out on the break. Good D by Gandolfo. Shaffett goes all the way. Good rebound by Glaze over Cook and puts up the left hand.
Such a strong body, puts it in for 2 points. You can rely on him for a bunch of rebounds, and of course those inside 2 points will be handy throughout the season, no doubt, for the Wildcats.
Van Ryn kicks it to Gandolfo. Doesn't quite get where he was wanting.
He's actually now has 17 points, which is the same as he had last week, so it probably it didn't feel like his strongest performance tonight, but with 17 points and 7 rebounds, he can say he can hold his head high after tonight's loss to the Spectres. He presents now from the perimeter. He had plenty of space. Granny Glaze makes it 20 points with that 3.
40 seconds here at the Graveyard. Nunawading going to run away with this one. Steele breaks ankles and drains the three in Glaze's face.
Nice move by Steele. A little bit of last-minute entertainment by Steele. Just puts Glaze on the
pulls
ground.
up, can't get it to drop. A little bit going off the ball between Cook and Glaze, but it's all good. 18 seconds. Nunawading hits the 100 points. And it's been a wonderful night here at the Graveyard. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. Nunawading taking both wins tonight. The women successful, and now the men by 24 over the Eltham Wildcats. I'm Mark Hallett, Tyson Whelan with me. Thank you for listening on a wonderful night. We'll see you back here at the Graveyard on Saturday the 27th of April as the Nunawading Spectres take on the Frankston Blues. Good night.